So we back. This episode 3. I wanted to get y'all some already, but life be life, and so I got this little, I got one of the organic dreamers with me, so we gotta talk. We gotta talk to y'all about something. And today, the topic gonna be vulnerability. And I don't even know if I want to start it off. I want to see what L got to say about it. I got the Black Einstein, Lil L right here, man. This the Bobby Hemmett incarnate, so watch what you say.
Yes, sir. First, I want to shout out to my boy ODA for bringing me on here. This means a lot. We've been talking about this for a while. Vulnerability. That's deep. Vulnerability to me is being able to be 100% honest with yourself and literally not lie to yourself, but also to be able to do that in public as well as in the background, in your shadow. And I really tie that vulnerability and honesty together seriously, which, as we could say, some people would say integrity as well. I feel like there are a lot of cousin words to vulnerability. So I'm gonna start out with that. I'm just trying to get the mic hot,
Yeah, you got it warm. For me, I feel like vulnerability is kind of like a surrender type thing, but it's like you really just gotta have faith in yourself because bro, that's where it starts first. Because if you're not vulnerable, I feel like you don't have nothing that you specifically like. Bro, vulnerability take faith. That's just how I see it. So I feel like you ain't got no faith if you not being vulnerable. Or you blocking yourself from something because you're not trying to be vulnerable. Here I like to give examples. So let's take a time, say I did this public speaking. And bro, I don't like talking in front of nobody. I don't even like talking to people really. So that was a thing for me where it was like, I don't really want to do this. I don't feel like, but once I really sat with myself and was like, you can really do whatever. It don't matter what people finna think, whatever, just deliver your message. Everybody not finna listen, everybody not finna hear, but some people gonna be tapped in and they gonna be trying to hear what you gotta say. So you gotta really boost yourself in a way. And for me, just me doing that for myself showed me so much to the point it was people was like, oh, you do this. And I'm like, no, I don't do this at all. I was really nervous, but people were like, oh, no, you didn't look nervous. You look comfortable. So it's that took a lot for me to open up and do that and be vulnerable to talk in front of people. But I had faith in myself. So that's really what had me open up to talk to people. L.
I'm getting, I ain't gonna lie, I'm over here channeling, getting a lot of stuff from just this topic alone. I really say this. The first thing I think about now, with you talking, is ego death. Deeply in the sense of putting out in the forefront the literal, I don't give a fuck, and yeah, I made this decision, or yeah, I'm this personality, but I don't care what nobody thinks. And even if I do get judged, so what? Fuck it. We all go through shit. And I feel like to get to that point, there's a lot of inner work of working out your own kinks of insecurity and knowing who you are in your own nature. Because I feel like it's different between confidence and there's difference between being in flow. And I feel like it's difference between sharing something with an individual or to the public and being able to own that and say fuck it. But are we able to say those vulnerable things to ourselves without any shame, hidden shame? Because a lot of people, they can wear those masks. And lots of them believe their own lies that they're telling themselves to put up an image instead of going within their nature. Nature will always win. Nature, nurture, all that it always wins. So I feel like with that, and plus when you find your own nature, when you lock in or you're having trials, and if you keep on going when it finally click, and this is a great thing when it comes to shadow work, then you can build that confidence by, okay, I'm going to start exercising, for instance, public speaking. All right, well, now I know I'm a public speaker now. This is my desire. This is within me. This is something that I feel I am close to or I align with. All right, so let me start speaking in front of 3 people. Let me get 3 of my friends together to be like, watch me say this poem or some shit, or watch me, do this lecture. And then it's like, after that, all right, now let me try to see what an open mic feels like. And after that, then let me, all right, so let me try to promote myself to where I'm performing. All right, I got my first performance for real. It's like, it's all in steps, but it takes that building of going on in the shadows, in that negrito state, that night of the soul state, and that within the Bible, that shadow of a doubt state. So I just translated in 4 different contexts and text clues, which is all saying the same thing.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit got me channeling. I agree with it, everything you said. I like what you said, that it's like they lying to themselves. And when I think of that, it's like you lying to yourself about who you are. So you guarding that lie. So it's harder for you to open up. And then you basically what you was explaining was like, are you starting in front of your friends? You gradually, you gaining confidence, but you gradually being vulnerable. Because I could say this in front of 3 people. Oh, now I'm about to slide to an open mic, bro. That's you getting bigger and bigger, bro. You being more open and vulnerable. So it's like, vulnerability is a gradual process. So it's like, you got to take your time with it, but if you got to take baby steps, take baby steps, but you can't be hard on yourself if you don't feel like, boom, 100% vulnerable for everything. There ain't nobody finna ask you to go on stage and perform in front of 1 million people and you not finna be like, oh, hey, I ain't even performing in front of 50 people yet. I ain't performing in front of 100 people yet. Because you're going to be feeling like that, bro. But it's a gradual process, bro. That's just how I see it. That's especially how you just said it, bro.
Yeah, gradual.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah. Hey, the incense got to smell a little bit stronger, bro. I said, oh, all right, yeah.
Let's talk about insecurity. All right, there we go, which is another thing. Let's talk about insecurity. Now, that's another gradual process. For example, I used to not like how my head shape looked. And it's it's funny, but it's like, for instance, like when I grew out the dreads, a big reason on why I grew my hair is because I felt like I looked good with longer hair. And from the childhood trauma of high school and other different things like that, and, and then even people saying like my head shape wasn't shaped for braids and stuff. And also, too, growing up, people saying, well, if you look like your dad, I would date you. But since you don't look like your dad, more like your mom and everything, it's like, oh, well, we're going to banish you. And so I had a lot of insecurity problems with how I looked growing up. And to build that, out of that insecurity into confidence, well, at first I grew my hair out and everything like that. And when it came time to cut it, and when I did cut it at first, it was amazing. But afterwards, I started looking at my head and looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, okay, man, I ain't seen this in a while. So I'm like, all right. And slowly I kept looking at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, let's see how we can get this going here so we can feel more of a king and not use that hair as an entity, as an idol of keeping myself alive. Yeah. And keeping my confidence, because certain things we can use as confidence are an addiction, as a crutch to help it.
We start using that as a shield.
As a shield. There you go, as a shield. And so, literally, as I started, putting on the different, conditioners and stuff like that, getting used to seeing, okay, well, how do I want to shape up my shit? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm seeing, okay, 30 different movies. Okay, like, oh, I see that haircut like this, like that. And I start doing visualized techniques and seeing, like, how, I visualize myself from the 3D parameter, 360 parameter and stuff. And after that, I'm like, yeah. And then as soon as I start to embrace that, embrace everything about it, from the corners of my fucking hairline to the back of my neck, holy grail. Then as I started loving that, other people started giving me compliments. Hey man, you got the haircut. Ooh, hey, your shit look fire. Your shit look fire. And I'm like, I had to know my shit looked fire before they could tell me my shit looked fire.
So, yeah. Hey. Hold on, I gotta bungee jump off that.
All right.
Bro, I was just telling somebody, like, bro, if you just fuck with yourself the hardest, bro, everybody gonna want to be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Bro, but like, if you don't fuck with yourself, bro, nobody gonna put energy into you like that. Mm-hmm. And that's the main thing. And it's like you were saying with your haircut, like, you didn't like that shit at first. Like, you was like, dang.
Yeah.
But then you got into it. You like, oh, hey. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like this haircut. I'm keeping it. You know, like. Mm-hmm. So it's like, bro, I really got out of that. Like, I didn't even think about it like this. Vulnerability takes getting rid of insecurity. So I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Third eye busting for that one.
Right now.
I ain't think about it like that, bro. But man, bro, you got something. You got go cook, bro.
Hey, like also too. Honesty. Here we go. That's another one. Honesty. Being honest with yourself. This like even knowing shit that you do, but you saying you don't. Man, we finna cook, boy. Ooh, I shave. Boy, we up in this thing. Like, all right, honesty. For example, let's see here. So, knowing that my true desire wasn't solely music. And no. Hold on. No, we gonna go deeper. When I had to decide whether I was gonna have one foot in the world and one foot out the world. Because, and now, I ain't sitting here, I'm gonna say this, I'm just, the only disclaimer I'm gonna give y'all motherfuckers, is that I'm not having a savior complex moment here. I'm saying as far as the decisions I make within my soul, not my physical avatar body, okay? That's some esoterics for that ass. But literally submitting to my nature of, listen, you know that you like these different things. You know what your path is. But at the same time, you keep on having these fixed worldly desires that you know that doesn't meet your nature and your whole personality. And up until different things have happened, and then on top of that, just saying, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to do the shadow work. I knew I needed to be studying in these books longer. I knew I needed to be getting in tune with my chakras. I know I need to be getting rid of this childhood trauma or healing and starting the process. I had come to the terms of, like, listen, I have an issue here. In order to fix the problem, you have to say to yourself and ignite what the problem is. So I knew there was some heavy shadow work I needed to do, and I had to make peace in order to get to my full wholeness of being vulnerable and not saying, oh, well, what if they judge me? Or let me keep on doing this type of music, but I'm not feeling it, but that's what everybody like. Or, man, why am I doing these music videos with these books and everything? Ain't nobody gonna listen to that. Nah, You have to submit to who you are. It's not about what you want. It's about what you need. So I say with that one, that honesty of knowing, like, all right, L, you know you can't be around these different types of people because you on this different wavelength. You know, all right, I can't keep going to the bars and having these low vibrational, meaningless conversations. Yeah, the dances be cool when it's actually lit, but the bars ain't how the bars is no more, like they used to be in the 90s where you getting grounded, wham, wham, thank you, ma'am. So I had to come to terms of do the work that you're afraid to do that will actually empower you. Instead of trying to hang on to this lifestyle that you know that is not yours. And what I mean lifestyle is drowning myself down just to be pleasing, to want to have friends, and I'm looking at the quality versus the quantity. Also at the same time is realizing like, hey, L, you got more to say than just this average stuff. Like when I mean average, talking about just like the low level conversations, the small talk, the toxic masculinity, you know, all that different things, the degrading women, all this different stuff that just, we just want to turn up, but you know you got more than just some turn up shit. Like, tighten up, nigga.
Tighten the fuck up.
Tighten up. So yeah.
Hey, I gotta jump off that again, man. He just said a whole bunch that was facts. Everything was facts. But I feel like he said, being honest with yourself, and I feel like that's the hardest thing for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Like, when somebody, like if somebody was to ask you your strengths and weakness, like, how many of us finna really say our weakness? Like, we know, like, we fucking up on this, and we, like, how many of us finna be honest and just say that? Ooh. And then it's, like, also, like, you can't, it's gonna be so hard for you to be vulnerable with anybody if you can't be, like, vulnerable with yourself. It's a lot of people that can't even tell themselves, like, all right, I'm fucking up. I gotta get it right. So it's, like, everything really start with you, bro. Then if you like basing your vulnerability off what other people, like if you thinking, what they finna say, what they finna do, you just lost all authenticity. Like you not doing what you want to do. You doing what appeal to somebody else, appeal to the masses, which don't be fun in the end because it's not really what you want to do. Look at how many artists gotta shape their music around shit they don't even want to talk about no more. Like it's a few artists that rap now that try to do like some real spiritual shit, but they labels like, no, that's not what's finna sell. Mm-hmm. Like them niggas authentically want to talk about some regular shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you would have just started off that way, you might not have blew up how you did, but you still authentic to yourself. And I feel like that's the biggest payout. If you gotta change who you is and do all other type of shit for a check, you not gonna be happy in the end, no matter how much money you finna get.
Because what we displaying exactly is what, like, the topic is vulnerability. It's to be able to express, like, what it is in truth and what's going on. I feel like another thing of vulnerability, another cousin of vulnerability is integrity. Now that's a big one right there, integrity. I feel like integrity is a cousin of vulnerability because even in the public eye, like, yeah, the integrity to yourself and stuff like that, that's the same thing. But I'm saying to the public eye that you are going to be real and honest about your own principles in public. And also, too, if you stand by something, not just in the background, but I feel like it's the duality with that. A duality, because, for instance, 24, which is the number that Kobe got, also my birth date day, you take 2. Let's do some numerology for that ass. You take 2, that's balance. You take 4, that's stability. 4 corner shuffle. Also with that 2 and 4 put together, that's integrity. because with the stability and balance, you'll be able to measure that. These characteristics mold you if you have the discipline to invoke that integrity, I'll say, at those times of test and pressure. And also integrity also takes heart and honesty. Heart as in the sense of your emotion, your mood, honesty with that.
I like that example of Kobe. I was just reading, one of his trainers was talking about him, and he was like, the thing about Kobe was he had unshakable discipline. Like they was talking about, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Kobe said, hell no, I'm finna go shoot. I'm finna go in the gym to shoot. Nigga, I don't give a fuck if I made this shot 1,000,000 times, I'm finna go shoot. And his trainer was like, all Kobe did was go to family events and to the gym. Woo! Think about it, bro. We ain't never seen Kobe outside. That's crazy, bro. You gotta be disciplined, bro. And it's like, that's like Kobe is the perfect example of integrity for me, because it's like, bro, he was one of the, you shooting a paper ball in the trash, Kobe. Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah.
So it's to the point he was able to, and then he even try to drop gems and tell people like, bro, do your shit. But how many of us like discipline with our shit? That's the thing. And with discipline comes vulnerability, because, bro, you finna, if I'm in a gym shooting 1,000 of these, somebody going, can you do this? And yeah, man. I'll do 1,000 of these every day. Yeah. Bro, open.
Clutch. Also, discipline brings in that muscle memory. For example, I can say this. The last 3.5 months, I can say I've been the most disciplined I ever been in my life. The most disciplined. And even as I'm sitting there saying this, I'm wide-eyed like, whoo, because I'm like, damn, how did I actually get here with that discipline? Because usually, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not really labeled as an undisciplined person, even when I was in my like adolescent shenanigan era. Like, there was something about me that I had to keep ritually, routinely, which is the same thing, look up etymology, that I was doing. I'm like, hold on, every time I had an event going on in my life, there was something that I was doing constantly to keep myself in mode. But another thing I had to build discipline on is learning how to have some self-care time and learn to be to myself all the way to myself, and build on crafts in private and silence and just me and everybody else that was not there. Just me, nigga. Just me. Like, learn how to cook. See, it's another vulnerability moment. I'm telling y'all to learn how to cook, working on mental health, shedding tears, exercising, researching, more inner work, spiritual work. Ain't no spookism. You know what I'm saying, y'all? For y'all, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no spookism. And also just self-love. And building up, certain things that number one thing, shadow work. Woo! And I say that ain't no game about no shadow work. See, when you doing shadow work, I tell you this, everybody else can be optimistic if they want to, but shadow work will whoop your ass, but it will mold you up as gold. So discipline takes the actual action to get where you want to be. And really, it's really a flight or flight thing. Discipline, bro, it's like really is something that people have to really build into, because a lot of times I don't want to read, like, I don't want to, like, keep doing the same thing, like, over and over routinely. Sometimes I want to just freestyle it or everything, which I do freestyle it, but sometimes, like Mike Tyson said, you have to learn how to love it even when doing it, when you don't even want to do it. Even when you don't want to do it. Like, we're recording my album, you know, the homeboy was like, you know, hey, you trying to come through, whatever like that, blase, blase. I'm like, I got to lock in. Now, of course, sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to lock in, but, I mean, I want to go out and everything like that, but I have to have these things taken care of first. So I had to lock in even when I wanted to go out. So discipline takes actual action in you formulating what you being disciplined for. You can't just be disciplined just to be disciplined, as far as like you don't have no agenda, because it ain't gonna work. So yeah.
I think that's how a lot of goals get completed too. Like setting small goals for yourself or reasonable goals, because that forms discipline, or you just like be ready to be disciplined. And then like you were saying with even with like the inner discipline, that it take a whole bunch. And I say, like, for me personally, it's a lot of days where it's like I'm studying and I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to get my mind together. And then some days it's like I'm straight though, or like, what's the point? But it's really like, for real, if you're trying to be disciplined with something, there ain't really no days off, and you gotta like want to do it. Because if you taking days off, it's like a diet, bro. So you taking cheat days, bro, you're gonna take more cheat days than actual diet days. Because think about it, bro. Somebody that's really on a diet, they not finna touch that shit at all. Ain't no cheat days. And they probably not even counting the fucking days since. So discipline is really something you gotta build up. And at first, like, in school, they tell us, like, set goals. I used to be like, that's some bullshit. But really, they tell you to set a goal, but they don't tell you it take a whole bunch of discipline. You're going to have to stick to your word and stick to what you want to do. So I feel like a lot of times we'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. But we don't ask ourselves what we willing to do. Is we going to shut everything out? Oh, bro, trying to go get lit tonight. But I want to get this book done. It's like you said, it's a duality. You got a choice. Wrong or right. Do what the fuck you want to do, or stick to your path. So it's like, it's hard, and I'm not gonna lie, like, that shit easy. Discipline really take, like, you gotta, and there's gonna be a lot of conflict with yourself. Because you gonna get, bro, we human, so at some point you gonna get bored with being disciplined.
Yes.
But you always gotta have that in back of your mind, like, all right, I want this shit so bad, so I gotta be willing to want this shit, and, you know, just do everything for it. So for that, it's like, I really say you gotta get that willpower together and just know what you want. And if you really want it, bro, like, what's that saying? If you want it, you'll get it, type shit. If you really want it, you'll get it. Or it'll be there for you because you earned it, you deserve it. So it's really just stick to the discipline for me and get your willpower together. Because everything that you want, you can get. But sometimes you got to think about how, but it's really, what is my discipline together for this?
And this is, I feel like, I'm going to give y'all a cheat code, if, you know, or something to get started with. If you don't know what you want, because a lot of times, I'm going to be honest, a lot of people say they know what they want, but they can't even explain what they want. Or, and I'll say this, people say they know what they want, but then when they get it, or when they start to go to pursue it, they realize they don't know what they want. So this is a cheat code for that ass. Go explore and see what activates you. See what makes you, you know, feel good. So there's nothing wrong with trying to try out, have an adventure, and all of a sudden see what takes place. A lot of people will say you have to know right now what you're going to do. Like the whole education system. Like as soon as you get to 11th grade, they already trying to have you fill out for colleges. But do you know what you want to do yet? But at the same time, have you explored real, as what they say, as real life shit to be able to indicate, okay, well, I said I want to be this, but I'm living in this environment. I got these different influences and everything like that. So actually, I'm not even in position to do this right now, but I'm only able to do this. So it's like working with what you got. People have to learn how to work with what they got first before they can even get some new shit added or go to another level, because that builds ingenuity. So I would say explore, and you keep exploring and seeing what you like and don't like, you'll eventually find it. But don't go out saying that you know what you want if you truly don't know what you want.
And then we was talking about explore. I also was thinking how many people scared to actually explore, like, because, bro, I ain't gonna lie, like, starting out with everything, I'm like, bro, I was a real fearful person. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it was like, nah, because bro, I'm not gonna lie. We basically programmed when we grow up. So it's like, somebody will tell you some shit that's out of the box, and then my head in the box. So I'm like, nah, that shit ain't possible. Nah, that shit ain't. But then when you, like, stop being scared and actually be curious with shit, that's why I like just being, like, me, because I'm a curious-ass person. So I'm always going to try to push something or try to figure out, like, all right, this what'll happen. So it's like you got to keep that curiosity and get out of fear. Because when you scared, you fear what you don't know. And, like, we see that shit every day. People die because somebody's scared somebody about to do something to them when they not finna do shit at all, or because they don't know them. And I literally always tell Elle, like, being around white people and shit that don't know nothing about black people, bro, they scared and they only see stereotypes. So it's to the point you fearing what you don't know. But ask some white people that's, like, cool with black people, chopped it up with black people, bro, they not, bro, what's the fear? Everybody cool type shit, unless you on that racist shit. And I feel like that's why race is a thing, bro. Because racist shit is a thing because people are scared. Motherfucking alien pop up. First thing, what everybody finna try to do?
They run.
Run or try to kill that motherfucker. Shoot the ship down. Why the fuck is we not trying to figure out, hey, what up? Why we not trying to, hey, you trying to help? It's all with, bro, I feel like America's first instinct is, like, when you scared, it's to fucking run or try to defend yourself. Yep. But how many of us gonna be like, all right, what's to it? So we gotta, like, really, like, and that's like an external example, but think about internally when you get thoughts like, damn, what if I'm really like this? Damn, what if I do that? But you got the other part of you that's stuck in the box, cage bird, trying to, nah, that ain't possible for you. Nah, you can't do that. You holding yourself back with your fear. So you can't explore with fear. You got to really poke your head in that mug and try to look around and see what's going on. You got to be the light in the dark.
I would say this. A lot of people have the fear of being wrong, and that what builds ego of, if I don't get a question right on the test, or if I don't get the right fix job on my car, or what if I buy this pill as what the FDA approves, that is the biggest money-making organization with the drugs. No, well, if I get this prescription, is it gonna work completely? And if not, then I'm a failure and all that. No, nigga, you need to bump on your ass. No, I would say bump your head on the wall so you can know how I feel, so you can be able to, when times of you about to get close or you in that same predicament that you know how to come back from. If we don't know how to make a mistake, we won't know how to correct ourselves. If we don't know, if we don't want to have the capacity to have the wrong influence on our kids, we have to learn when to make peace with those elements of ourselves, which is making peace with your mistakes, making peace with your darkness. And I'm talking about the darkness of, dang, man, I did some shit 10 years ago. I'm still hurting from it. But I done moved on, but physically, but inside, I'm numb. So make peace with your mistakes. Make peace with the things that you are fearful of, and say, well, wonder why I'm fearful of this, or wonder why I get uncomfortable and everything and all that stuff. Because for me, at this point in my fucking life, if anything, I'm afraid I'm running to that motherfucker. I'm running to that bitch.
Hey, it's a quote. They said, when everybody running one way, run the other way.
Facts. The road less traveled. The road, football player. The road less traveled.
Hey, nah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we gave y'all the keys to breaking down vulnerability, and like we really like. If this was a presentation, vulnerability was the subject, but we got so many different key parts for you to just like really eat, bro. Like this is really like food for thought type shit. So I just want to end this giving tips. Like give out some of your personal tips, bro, and I'm gonna give out some of mine.
Okay. My personal tips as far as vulnerability is, one, be honest even if it's embarrassing. Because that's gonna ignite more of the I don't give a fuck attitude. Because it's like, damn, like one song I said, damn, I was 2 weeks late on the rent. Now, even though the reason why I was 2 weeks late wasn't my fault, but at the same time, I had to take that responsibility of, all right, listen, no matter what, that's still weighing on me. So when I say, hey, man, I ain't got the rent this month, even though that shit is embarrassing to say, that's practicing, that's exercising that muscle. So, hey, bro, by the way, I fucked up on this. I fucked up on this. I got to charge it to the game. But and that's the thing. That's the thing. It's ego death. Another tip is, I would say, look at yourself in the mirror and speak out loud what you don't like about yourself, and then slowly but surely make connections to be able to make peace with the things that you don't like about yourself, that you can start to slowly work on. We all have strengths and weaknesses. We all have things that we have to work on every day, no matter who you are, no matter what level, class, middle class, whatever. At this point, class is over because this whole America bullshit, this shit, all right. But so that's what I would say. Also, too, when you're actually honestly wrong about something, apologize and say that you're sorry sincerely. And also, too, another tip, if you don't like a certain thing about a certain situation, say it to yourself or think about it and be like, all right, so why am I mad about this? I'm mad about this because of this triggered me and all that. Notice your triggers and analyze your own triggers. So then you can be able to, when you having a moment, you can go back and you can have that counsel with yourself. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I like them. I agree with the first step. That's gonna be the first tip. That'd be one for me too. Is being honest with yourself, because bro, and that take a lot of work. I don't know why, but shit, it take a lot of work. And I say for myself, it was a bunch of times where I'm like trying to just create a scenario to like make myself feel comfortable instead of actually trying to figure shit out and figure out like what's the truth behind everything for myself. But once I started like, all right, bro, you like this, you like that. You don't like how that feel. You don't like how that feel. And I started moving on that, and I started standing 10 toes like behind myself type shit. It wasn't until that like everything else was falling into place. And then I'll say like for tip 2, you gotta really just really know yourself, bro. And everything is just knowing yourself. Because think about, and I see this every day, like everything just try to pull you away from yourself. When you like, bro, we homework 24/7 because you always feeling something, you always thinking something, bro. It's always gonna be something you can elaborate on that, like with yourself type shit. But it's just like so many things and so many like you could just do so much to the point if you are feeling something, you could just cover it up, you can mask it so quick. So it's like everybody running towards, let's do this. They running towards, okay, let's just distract ourselves. Try to see like, all right, what's up with me? How I feel though. Because how many people really wake up and just sit there and like, damn, do I feel like, how I think I'm going to survive this day? It don't got to be deep like how I'm going to survive. It can be like, damn, all right, I know I got this up, I got this. How I'm finna conquer this goal. And I feel like, bro, and since I've been moving like that, everything has just been like in sync for me. That shit flow. Bro, what? Bro, what? I wake up, I'm like, nah. But it's because I feel like I'm more open with myself now, bro. I'm not scared to be like, damn, bro, you fucking up. You know how many times I'll go in the bathroom. If I fuck up, I will literally go in the bathroom and be like, bro, you fucking up.
Bro, me too, bro.
You fucking up. Get your shit right.
Yeah.
And that shit really help you, like, if you look at yourself as somebody. Because if you don't think you shit, you gonna look in the mirror and say you fucking up and just be saying you fucking up to a blank. You talking to a brick wall, but looking at a mirror type shit. So I'm not gonna lie. That's just some tips from me, man. I got a whole bunch of them, but I ain't gonna. Cause if I drop too many of these Jews, y'all ass finna be looking like me, bro. Y'all finna just be like, I got it. I'll literally tell L all the time, we do this shit. It's to the point I used to try to resist this shit. But if I feel something, bro, I'm gonna dissect it. And if I can let it out, I'm gonna let it out. It ain't no more, all right, I feel like this, I'm finna just fold my arms, put my head down, just like hide from it. It's more, what's up?
Yeah.
And then it's like, the thing about being vulnerable, and this the last thing, bro, and this a gem. The thing about being vulnerable, like even what you was saying with like being late on the rent, you tell somebody some shit, or you just being vulnerable in general. Most of the time, when you're being vulnerable, shit go your way. It's not like, bro, it's when you, all right, fuck that. Shit finna keep going down. But if you, all right, fuck it, I'm finna open up. I ain't got it. You tell somebody, all right, I ain't got it. Oh, bro, yeah, I got you. Whole time, nigga, all it took was me being vulnerable. And that's for everything, bro. I feel like it ain't been one time in my life where being vulnerable did me wrong. And if it did do me wrong, it was temporary as fuck. But I learned a way larger lesson in the end. So just be vulnerable, bro. And if I feel like that's a word, I feel like vulnerable is a feminine word, so men ain't gonna try to like do that shit.
Man, you hold
hey, look, this bitch ain't finna end, bro.
My bad, bro. Cause it's like as soon as you said that, bro, bro, you just read, bro. You just
I don't know
channeled
where that shit just came
bro,
from.
I was thinking about that, bro. Literally, I was just thinking about, bro.
I said the word, and I'm like, damn, that shit kind of sounds like a feminine word.
Man, we over here brain connected, nigga. Hemisync connected. All right, listen, I'm trying to make this Gemini shit, but so men that appear to say being vulnerable is weak and all this stuff like that, that ain't nothing but toxic masculinity. That ain't nothing but that. Now, I'm gonna say this to you. Somebody was talking about, well, when you gonna be a man instead of, crying and all that? I'm finna cook that ass. So I'm gonna say this. Being a man, as far as being that honesty and that vulnerable, if you can't be vulnerable as a man, that means you can't even be honest with yourself. These words are literally cousins of each other. And also, you talking about that's a feminine word, all this stuff like that. Your mama is your nurturer. Your mama is your nurturer. Your mama is the fucking heart Schumann resident free. Boy, don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. Come on. It's the heart Schumann residence. If you don't know, look it up. But what I'm saying is like this. You not being vulnerable as a man, not being afraid to shed them tears, not being afraid to embrace, like, you know what? All right, right now, I need to capitalize this moment. All it's going to do is make your heart numb, and you wondering why you can't feel, and you wondering why you stressed out, and you wondering why you can't release shit, or you wondering why shit ain't going your way, and it's just always being buried, and pretty soon you going to erupt like a fucking volcano. That shit happened to me. I ain't want to be around no females whatsoever, except if it was once in a while. Keep it a buck. I ain't want to be around no females in the last previous years, unless if one, they was an artist that was in the same field that I am, or if I'm about to get some cheeks. See, that's vulnerable right there for that ass, right? And also because of trauma and wanting to be that alpha male. Oh, yeah, bros before hoes, all this shit. Nigga, that's some shit. Yeah. Because of YouTube. I say that shit is I say like that shit fruity as fuck, nigga. Yeah. That shit fruity as fuck. And Fruit Loop. Fruity as fuck. And you wondering why you stressed out. You wondering why you can't display those emotions to your kids and everything. Listen, love is the biggest frequency, right? Love is the biggest frequency. And if you can't be vulnerable with yourself, you don't love yourself. You're going to keep on chasing things outside of you, which everything is within you. And also this too, right? Because being a man ain't even really about crying. Being a man is knowing when to have them times of balance when you have to go to war. See, me, in my eyes, it's always war. But I know that as long as I am in my vulnerable state of being honest with myself, having them tears, having that resilience coming from fighting your fucking battles. It don't come from being tough and lifting weights and showing off and fucking. That ain't no. It's from fighting your battles and building that resilience up. Because all you're going to do is hit a loop. That's a circle. But then if you get that, you know what I'm saying, that 8, that infinity, that, you know what I'm saying, turn the thing, the dust coming down, the sand coming down, the hourglass, you know what I'm saying? It's a continuous thing. You keep on, man. Pretty soon the current gonna bust. You ain't gonna have no electrical charge. Well,
talking that talk.
They ain't ready for it. So yeah, get here.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I know he's been going to tangent on y'all ass, bro. He being nice right now. But look, I'm gonna say. I gotta set the mic down because I'm about to say some real shit to y'all ass. All right, let's rewind. With the word vulnerability being feminine, like, think about it, bro. We programmed, they be like, oh yeah, nah. That soft shit, you can't be doing that soft shit. You crying, you soft. It's like they put so many labels and shit on you, and like, if you expressing yourself as a man, but I feel like me as a person, the first question I always, bro, and this is like since young, bro, I always was wondering, like, who the fuck like set up these values in the first place?
Facts.
For us to be handing them down and like, all right, bro, they ain't like, my pops know I love him and shit, but it's like, who the fuck taught you like, and then it's like, my granddad, who the fuck, like, who, like, and then y'all like, all right, I understand, but like, bro, we going with somebody else's values, and who the fuck is this somebody else that gave us these values? So it's like, that was always something for me, because I always would question. And then they be like, it's always a category for shit. So we can stereotype shit. So it's always just like, who the fuck makes this shit up and why do we follow it? And I feel like that just blocked. And then we get prideful as shit. And pride is the fucking devil. Woo! Like, niggas will die over shit, like, for what? Motherfucker hit your car, you mad, then the bitch shoot him. Bro, it's a car. You could have lost that car. You probably could have never had that car. And you just did all of that for what? Now you in jail. It's like, it goes so deep to the point I feel like us as people, and I'm not gonna act like I don't defend certain shit, but it's to the point I just really release a lot of shit. But why are we defending half of the shit that's like material? Why are we willing to die over material? Like that shit, bro, I'm trying to tell you, as a kid, bro, and like growing up and like going through school, bro, I was always the quietest person. I love watching people. Like, I'm a observer, bro. Bro, fucking spider on that wall, nigga, in the corner. Just look at these motherfuckers cutting up, bro. Look at this nigga defending his fucking ego. Bitch, he ain't finna have that in a couple years. He finna be a whole different person. Facts. Bro, everybody, you're so, bro, I don't want to associate and be like you. Yes. Everybody used to always, you're so different. Yeah, I know, bro, because I'm not finna be, if I'm finna try to, my grandma always was, you the leader of the pack. I ain't know what the fuck she was saying when I was little, but she was always, you the leader of the pack. But now I understand, because I'm staying back and I'm watching the pack. Yeah. And then you gonna look back at me and I'm just looking like, myself is fuck. Myself is fuck. Why everybody want to act like him, I want to be like him. Who the fuck is he? We idolize motherfucker. Who the fuck is he? He at the crib probably beating on his girl, doing some stupid shit. But in public, we thinking, oh, he's upright and yeah. We valuing thoughts of motherfuckers and then using that, like using the thought of somebody and trying to be like that. And it's just backwards. And then we be prideful over ego and all the like. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I feel like being vulnerable, you got to let your pride go too. Like, that's the biggest thing, bro. Let your pride go. And that's the fall of man, so.
I'm glad you mentioned pride. I think I channeled that to you because I was because instantly.
This song, right?
Yeah. Because I was thinking this, right? For me, I would say, if we want to talk about, feminine words, other stuff, I say like this. Pride to me is a masculine word, in my opinion, only because this is crazy.
Hey,
pride, I say like this. For me, pride is only if it's your downfall if you not being honest. Because it's like this, right? Because some people say, oh, pride is not being able to get help from people, not being able to ask or receive for help. But being honest is the same thing of being honest to know if you need help. Being honest and knowing to yourself. This all ties into these cousin words of vulnerability. These are cousins. These are cousins. Think about it like this. This is my definition of pride. We'll talk about the fall of bad, all this shit. This is my definition of pride. Pride is a code word for not being able to have a hold of control. And I'm not saying the control of the emotions, which that's that alpha maleism. The control of how much you want to give to somebody. That's a so-called mechanism of vulnerability. I mean, not one, but also it's like this, and it's the last thing I'm gonna say, because I know I got a big mouth. Pride is the control you have on yourself of not wanting to let go of who you truly are. I'm out there.
Hey, all right, hey, look, he done with it. But I'm gonna agree with that too. I know it seems like I agree with him all the time, because I do, bro. We been on this little. I ain't gonna lie, me and El been on the same path for a while. We be exchanging everything, figuring out, bro. We figure out some shit, bro. I'm trying to tell you. You look at our messages, you gonna be like, bro, these niggas done think they done broke some shit. They done broke some shit through. Yeah, they done broke a veil off or something. So, bro, I literally agree with that shit. So it's like, bro, pride is dangerous, bro. And the last thing I'm gonna say is that shit heavy as fuck. So, and it ain't until you let go of your pride you realize, damn, that shit was heavy as fuck. So go and let that shit go. And we just taught y'all the cousins, the sisters, the brothers, everything to vulnerability. This is the vulnerability handbook right now. I'm talking about, I'm finna listen to this. Bro, I've been being vulnerable, but I'm still finna listen to this shit as homework. Like, oh, yeah. This a reminder for myself.
56, I just seen it.
At all times, yeah. This a reminder for myself at all times, like, just to be vulnerable. And don't be scared, nigga. What's the worst that's gonna happen? If you gonna die, you just gonna die, bro. And then, I ain't gonna get too deep on death, but you will figure that shit out when you die. And you ain't gonna be dead.